Okay, can you guys hear me now? Oh my god, I hope I wasn't muted for the whole time. Yes, I'm definitely a professional yapper. Okay, I feel like I have to start over. So basically what I was saying was that a lot of us, we get put into the society and we're expected to be a certain way, because we're put into a certain religion, put into a specific culture. Our family starts to have certain expectations of us and who we should be and what we should do in our lives. And so we start to kind of conform to that reality and conform to what other people want of us. And honestly, if you feel like I'm irrelevant, you don't have to be here, you know? Again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But at the end of the day, you commenting on my video, you're giving me traction, because the more that you comment, the more that the algorithm sees that people are interacting, whether it's negative or positive. So thank you so much for coming in. Um, and I really do appreciate the comments. And I'm going to keep speaking on the things that I want to speak about, that I truly feel are valuable to me. And again, people that resonate will resonate, and those that don't. And that's the thing. When you truly know yourself and you live with pure intentions and you're not living for other people, you develop a sense of confidence to a point that nothing that anyone says will you could take it personally, because a lot of people literally like to project, and people either project their insecurities, their pain, just things that happen to them, and so when you learn that, it's like you don't take it personally, because the moment that you take somebody personally for saying something negative about you is the moment that you start to identify with their belief system, you know? And I think that when you truly know yourself, it's like you don't have to identify to what anybody thinks and feels about you, because a lot of the times the things that people say, especially when it comes to hate, a lot of the things that people say are always going to be an opinion, is never going to be a fact, and it's like, if you can't come with statistics and actual facts, then I'm not going to take what you say personally, because at the end of the day, why am I going to take something that somebody said about me personally, when at the end of the day, these people don't know my heart. These people don't know the things that I've gone through. These people don't know my thought processes, my heart. The only person that knows my heart is me and God, nobody else. You know what I mean? And so you have to learn to, like, literally let people say what they want to say at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because that's literally, it shows more about who they are as a person. And a lot of times when people do this and they hate and they project and they say negative things, the way that I feel about it is that, like, I genuinely wish that a lot of us can heal. I genuinely wish that a lot of us can feel happy within ourselves, because if you're going out your way to go and say something mean and negative to a stranger, especially behind a screen for social media, then that shows that, you're hurt or you're insecure, or you don't feel good about yourself. Because if you genuinely felt love and you were looking at life through love, you wouldn't be going to the next person to try to bring them down or say something negative to them. You know what I mean? And that's how it is for me. It's like, I know that I live my life from a place of love. I know that I live my life, pure and authentic. And all I want to do is love people. And because I have this heart and because I have this mindset of way of being, I don't feel it in me to go and bring somebody else down. You know what I mean? And I think that it's important to learn that, and this is for anybody out there that, feels like they have to take people personally, or feels like, oh my God, what people say defines you. Like, nothing that anyone says defines your worth at the end of the day, because you were born into this world alone and you will die alone. And so if you continue to live your life caring about what people think, you will never find yourself, because you're too focused looking externally. You're too focused trying to fit in with societal norms and what people want of you and what people expect of you. And when you focus too much looking externally on what people think, right, that pulls you further away from yourself and your purpose. And this is why so many people, they want bigger things for themselves. They want better for their life, right? but they find themselves stuck in the same position. They find themselves stuck doing the same thing and not seeing any growth or improvement within themselves, or they feel depressed, right? Or they feel anxious and they wonder why they're not making improvements in their life. They wonder why they're not growing. They wonder why their relationships don't work out. And it's because these are the people that are so focused looking externally, that are so focused on trying to create this performance so they could fit in with other people. And I think that when you truly are made for something bigger, this is why a lot of the times when you're made for something bigger, God puts you in isolation. And, in that moment of you trying to build and trying to grow, there will be a lot of people that will try to bring you down, right? And again, it's because your growth threatens people who don't do anything with their lives. And this is because when you're growing, when you're evolving, when you're doing better, it forces people to have to reflect on what they do and what they don't do in their lives. And a lot of the times, the people that don't do anything with their lives are the people that will hate and project. Because I think that if you genuinely know that you're doing better and you know that you have something to work on and you're happy for yourself, then it's easier for you to be happy for the next person, right? Um, a lot of the times people that don't know how to be happy for the next person, it's because they don't know how to be happy within themselves. They don't know how to clap and celebrate for themselves, so you can't expect people to clap and celebrate you, you know um and that's why it's so important to learn how to just love yourself and congratulate yourself, celebrate yourself, because you're not going to have a lot of people that are going to be there for you. And when you do, that's so amazing, that's so great. But for a lot of people, sometimes we don't. And I think that for people that do have to go on this journey alone and finding themselves and developing more and creating better for themselves, like, they have to learn how to just be alone. So that's really what it is, honestly. And I speak a lot about this like throughout my videos on like just really how to love yourself and honor yourself. And I create content this way because I feel like so many of us live in such a fear-based reality, and we live feeling like it's normal to judge and normal to hate and normal to compare. But a lot of the times the things that you feel are normal are not actually healthy, right? Because if you spend your time hating on people and trying to fit into societal norms and judging people and comparing, it's like you're only like bringing yourself down in a way, because like literally who you are and how you behave and the energy that you put out shows a lot about how you are inside. And you'll never grow and you'll never evolve and you'll never make it to the next level if you don't know how to come from a place of love. And this is why I create the content that I do, because I genuinely believe that so many of us deserve to find this love within ourselves, because love is our truest essence. Like when we are born into this world, into this life, we are born with pure love. We don't know what it means to hate as innocent babies. We don't know what it means to compare ourselves. We don't know what it means to, you know judge and discriminate. It's not until we start to grow that we start getting introduced to judgment, to comparison. You know what I mean? And so literally you have to go back, and that's really what healing is. Healing is not becoming a brand new person. Healing is finding who you were before life told you who to be, finding who you were before the trauma, before the comparison, before any of the things in life that happened to you. That's what it truly means to heal. And I think that when people hate, when people judge, when they discriminate, it's really because they need to heal. They need to find God, because God is within us, within all of us. And even if you don't believe in God, it's like a higher power or the universe or even you, like your best self is inside of you. You know what I mean? And the moment you tap into your best self, the moment you tap into that self-love, and that, it's like you really do find yourself, and you find yourself just living life so much better. And you'll find that everything that you've been calling in, that you've been needing in your life, it will be handed to you. So many of us, we feel like, oh, all I have to do is pray and ask God and I'm going to receive, or all I have to do is go to church and read the Bible and I will receive. And that's not what it is, because you can sit and pretend to be a perfect person, pretend to be helpful. But if your energy, if inside you're not being pure and you're not being authentic, then you really will never receive, right? Because the universe and God doesn't respond to what you say, but it responds to energy, right? It responds to codes, it responds to, the energy that you carry within. And so the more love and the more confidence that you have in yourself, the more that you will receive. But the more that you hate on other people, or the more that you hate on yourself, or you hold on to these insecurities and self doubts, is the moment that you're lowering your vibrational frequency, your energy, and that creates stagnancy in your life. And then you feel like, well, I'm working and working and working towards this thing, but I'm not seeing the results. Because a lot of the times it's not about working harder, but it's about working smarter, because you can go above and beyond and do all the things. But if internally, like I said, if you're not, creating that success within yourself and, having that positive mindset, then, you're not unlocking these doorways for you, you know? And so it's really important to just be open minded. It's really important to not look so much externally for validation and wait for people to applaud you and wait for people to see you for who you are. But it's important that you see you for who it is that you really are. It's important that you live your life being pure and authentic, regardless of what anybody thinks and how anybody feels about you, you know? And it just is what it is. Again, and I think that when you really love yourself, when you genuinely love yourself and you trust yourself, you really don't care about what people think and what people say. And sometimes people, they want you to care what they say. They want you to care about what they're saying about you and how they feel about you, because the moment you give these people a reaction, you're satisfying these people, because sometimes people, um they live off of getting a negative reaction out of people. And the reason that they do this is because they don't have anything going for themselves. And so when they get when they get a reaction from you, it kind of fills them up with this adrenaline. And this adrenaline, you know, it can be given to you in many ways, by being productive, by creating something good for yourself, starting a business, investing in yourself. But because these people don't do that, they have to find that energy through somebody else's anger. But what you have to realize is the moment that you give somebody a negative reaction is the moment that you're giving them your energy. And so people that hate and people that look for a negative reaction are literally just energy vampires, right? And so they will do anything in their power to try to get a reaction out of you, whether it's calling you names, whether it's talking down on you, whether it's, mocking you, or whatever it means. They will do those things. But I think that when you're genuinely happy and you genuinely have something going for yourself, you don't have time to hate on people, because you're so busy trying to build yourself up. You're so busy trying to, continue to make money, continue to go throughout your business. You know what I mean? And you know, for easy for you to say, because you are beautiful. And it's not even just that, because honestly, I see myself as a beautiful woman now, but growing up, I didn't see myself as a beautiful woman. Like, I got bullied for the way that I looked. I got bullied for just being who it is that I am. And so I grew up being insecure, right? But what I had to realize is that I grew up being insecure because I attached myself to what other people thought and said about me. But the moment I decided that it doesn't matter what people think about me is the moment that I learned to find confidence, because there will be people in the world that will think that I'm beautiful, and there will be people in the world that will think that I'm ugly. But you know what? Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So who am I to try to go in and try to explain myself, and try to make somebody see me for who it is that I know that I am, right? Because what you have to realize is that two truths can exist at the same time. What may be true for me may not be true for the next person. And what may be true for the next person may not be true to me, you know? And so, literally, like, I had to literally learn that, and realize, you know what? Like, people will think what they want of me, and so what? Because at the end of the day, these people that are judging me, they're not paying my bills. These people that judge me and that hate on me, they're not, they're not doing anything for me. They're not getting me to where it is that I want to get to. I'm the only person that's going to get me where it is that I need to get to, right? And so I literally had to learn how to literally shut off the noise and understand that the things that happen outside of me, people's opinions, the way people treat me, the way people behave, has nothing to do with me. Everyone is literally living through their own experiences. Everyone is living through their lenses, through their own perception in life. So who am I to try to sit here and try to change the way that someone sees me? Who am I to try to sit here and try to please somebody and try to, dim my light just to make other people comfortable? And I find that when you feel like you have to dim your light to make somebody else comfortable, those people don't deserve to be in your life. And you know what's so crazy is that people that hate on you the most are people that will sit and watch you the most. And why is that? Because hate is equivalent to love. They throw hate at you because there's something about you that they wish that they had. And because they cannot have that thing, rather than congratulate you, rather than support you, they rather hate on you because they don't have that thing. And that's called projection. It literally is. Because I'm telling you, the moment that you decide, I want to stop letting these people bully me, I want to stop letting these people talk about me, I'm going to remove myself from the situation, these people get more upset when you decide to move away and set that boundary. Why? Because now they don't have control over you. Now they can't say things and get a negative reaction out of you because it gets to a point that you don't care, you know? And again, that shows that there's something about you that this person likes. And maybe it's something that they don't even realize. Maybe it's your aura. Maybe it's your energy. Maybe it's the way you talk. Maybe it's the way you show up for yourself, right? And it's something that they feel like they can't do, right? And this is why, okay, when you decide to move away, they get the way that they get. And I've witnessed that. I've literally witnessed myself where I've been in situations where people have talked negatively about me behind my back. And I decided, you know what, I don't want this for myself anymore. Like, I'm not going to keep letting people say these things about myself. So I'm going to remove myself. And the moment that I removed myself, they continued to gossip, right? And that shows that whether or not you stay around, whether or not you take people personally or not, whether or not you shrink your light for these people, they're going to feel unsatisfied with whatever it is that you do. And that's why it's important that you don't shrink your light to try to fit in to someone else's norm, to someone else's expectations, because these people will not never be satisfied with you. And the reason that they will never be satisfied with you, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. If they're unhappy and unfulfilled and unsatisfied with their life within themselves, what makes you think that you're going to come in and they're going to be satisfied with you? And this is why it's so important to understand projection. It's important to understand and love yourself and trust yourself without caring about anybody else, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to talk about this on my live stream. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to share this because I feel like this is something that a lot of people need to realize and need to learn. And sometimes people are not ready for that. And that's the thing. You can't like expect everybody to be ready. You can't expect everybody to, like, right now I'm saying these things, right? And whoever's listening is good, and those that are not, right? And that's why every time I come on my platform, I always say, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because I could sit here and I could preach these things and I could talk about the confidence and I could talk about my story and how I got here. And it's like, if people are not ready to evolve, if people are not ready to level up, if people are not ready to face the mirror and take accountability and see the darkest parts of themselves, then there's nothing that you can do about it. But just because you can't control other people doesn't mean that you should stop speaking your truth, doesn't mean that you should stop speaking about these things, especially if you're passionate about it. Like, I'm very passionate about self-growth and confidence, and it's because of my upbringing and the things that I had to go through in my life. You know what I mean? Um, and I feel like the more that you share your truth and people see you sharing your truth, you'll either have people that will hate on you and that will think that you're fake, or you will have people that will actually listen and decide, wow, this woman is confident. Wow, this woman is actually speaking facts. I want to go ahead and I want to implement these skills into my life, right? Because no thought is original. Everything that we think of, everything that we want is something, it's something that developed in our subconscious mind. It's either always been our purpose, or it's something that we've seen people do and we decide, I like that and I want to do it for myself, right? Like for me, like I said, grew up very insecure, very like going through a lot of unfortunate things. But what motivated me was seeing people around me go through similar things or come from similar backgrounds, and seeing them evolve and seeing them get far in their life. And I decided, you know what, I want this for myself as well. And that's the thing. If there are people in this world becoming millionaires, if there are people in this world following their dream, creating businesses, what makes you think that you can't go and do the same thing? When we literally live in a world that is limitless. That is limitless. And to be honest, right? There are people that probably, you know, don't have as much as you, but they're getting so much further in their life than you because they actually believe in themselves. And that's the thing, you have to believe in yourself, you know? But yeah, that is the truth though. And it really does come from you and yourself. So I'm really grateful. Like I said, I was able to share this. I don't usually do lives on my YouTube channel. Usually I go live on my TikTok because I do have like an actual community and fan base on there. But I am trying to like expand more throughout my platforms and spread this awareness more every single day. And I feel like if I continue to show up in different places, then I will start to attract the right people, because you literally, what you are, you attract what you are, right? And so the more that I speak and the more that I share my wisdom and the more that I speak about the things that I'm passionate about, I know that I'm going to attract people that see life the way that I do, that want the same things as that I do, right? And that's what I mean. It's like, that's what you have to, keep showing up for yourself. You're never going to grow if you stay small, if you stay hidden, if you don't speak or you don't do the things that you want to do. You won't grow. Growth requires you to take action. Growth requires you to take risk. Growth requires you to step outside the box, even if it's uncomfortable. Because look, when I started this live, the first thing that I saw was people hating, was people telling me and being negative about me. And you know what? I kept speaking. And now here I am, 25 minutes into this live, and I'm still speaking. Why? Because I didn't allow what those people said to make me feel away. Why? Because I believe in myself, because I'm passionate about something. I really want more for myself. And so, because I want this thing, why would I sit here and let the next person downplay me and hate on me or say something negative about me? Like, why would I do that? You know what I mean? Um, and it is what it is. And I think that a lot of us need to learn this, is that when you want to do something different and you decide to step out the box, people will hate on you and people will say negative things about you, because again, you're doing things that, one, they didn't think of first. Two, if they did think about it, they probably weren't as successful at it because they weren't consistent, or they probably just feel insecurity and they're projecting it onto you. You know what I mean? And so you have to keep going regardless of what, regardless of anything. Because you think that if I cared about what people think, I would not be sitting here continuing this live, because I would let people make me feel like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I'm so embarrassing. Like, there's only 3 people in my life and I'm just yapping it up, like, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter, because even if there's one person in this life, maybe that one person needed motivation today. Maybe that one person needed a friend. Maybe that one person was feeling lost in life, and now I was able to help that one person. And that's the thing. When you go into something, right, people always expect you to attach yourself to numbers or attach yourself to external things, but it does not matter. When you decide, oh, I want to build a house, right? You're not just going to start painting the walls, right? Because you have to start with nothing. You have to start with literally nothing. no land or and type stuff. Like you have to look for that, right? So you are gonna start with zero. You are gonna start with nothing. But if you allow people to make fun of you and make you feel like, oh my God, you're so stupid. Why do you want to start this thing? Like nobody supports you. You're not gonna grow. But when you learn, I don't care about numbers, I don't care about views, I don't care about what I have and what I don't have. I just know I want to do this thing and I'm going to go ahead and do it. That's the kind of mindset that gets you further in life. That's the kind of mindset that brings you success. People that were successful, people that became successful, is because they didn't overthink. It's because they didn't care about what people were saying, how people thought about them. It's because they went ahead and they did the things that they wanted to do, regardless of who believed in them and who didn't. Literally. Literally. There's people that do things that you may think is so impossible, and they do it. And they do it. Literally. We wouldn't have certain things that we have now if there wasn't a person who invented it. You know? I appreciate you. Please don't stop what you're doing. And I won't. And I won't. And you know what's crazy? There are probably people that want me to stop. There are probably people that don't support me, and that's okay. And that's the thing too. When you want to do something for yourself, there are going to be people who are not going to support you. There are going to be people that are not going to care about what it is that you're saying, what it is that you're doing. But guess what? You're not doing this for other people. You're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it to please other people. You're doing it because you genuinely care about this thing, this topic, this whatever it is that you're building or doing. You just care about it, you know? And even if it's a hobby, I feel like it's so important to have hobby. A lot of people, they want to be confident in life, yet they don't have hobbies. They don't develop skills. They don't put themselves in uncomfortable situations. They stay stuck doing the same thing. But how do you expect to build confidence? How do you expect to trust yourself? How do you expect to do bigger and create bigger and better things for yourself if you're not putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, if you're not building, if you're not, doing hobbies like this right now? Like, of course, it would be really nice to obviously, make passive streams of income. But what I do now is a hobby. Like, I genuinely love speaking. I feel like I have what it takes to be a public speaker. I have a lot of wisdom. I have a lot of knowledge. I've experienced a lot of things. I have a lot to say. And so that's why I do the things that I do, you know? And again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Guess what? There are probably going to be people in this world that think I talk too much. There are probably going to be people in this world that think that what I speak about is bullshit. But guess what? Like I said earlier, two truths can exist at the same time. So what may be true to that person, they think, oh, this is unnecessary, you talk too much. That's their truth, that's their belief. But my truth is, I do have a lot to say and I do want to share it to the world. And because I believe that and because I like what I do and I feel good at what I do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it anyways. No matter who's watching, no matter who's supporting, no matter who's clapping for me. And this isn't just for me and social media and public speaking, but this is for anything. If you decide I want to create a business, I want to build my own land, I want to start, growing anything, growing my own vegetables, teaching people how to invest in themselves, doing fashion, whatever it looks like to you, but just do it, you know? Literally. Exactly. Hate on a lot of people because I can't get what I want, although I'm fine myself. Preach, sister. Well, you gotta care because you need to get paid. What do you mean? What do you mean I need to get paid? But yeah, like, and that's the thing too. If you're talking about I need to care because I need to get paid, it's like I don't attach myself to the money. I do this because I genuinely like to do it. I do this because I'm genuinely passionate about it. If money comes, then yes, I accept it. I take it. I love it. I would love to receive passive streams income. But if not, I'm still going to do what I want to do because again, it's me putting myself in an uncomfortable situation. It's me be like practicing my speaking, practicing communicating. You know what I mean? You said you don't care about likes, etc. I mean, I don't. Like, obviously, if people like my videos, that means I'm doing something good, cool, whatever. But if people don't, I'm not going to sit and cry about it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit and because there's only one person in my life, I'm not gonna sit and say, oh my God, I'm gonna give up. I'm never gonna do this again. No, I'm gonna keep doing it. And that's what I mean. It's like you have to detach from the outcome. You have to detach from the physical things. Like, yeah, I would love to have thousands of people on this live right now. I would love to have a bigger community, you know, but I don't. And that's okay. I'm not gonna complain about it. Because when you complain about it, you're not showing gratitude. And gratitude is a magnet of abundance. You know, gratitude is a magnet. And yeah, of course, to make money, I need more than two people in my life. That's true. But I'm not gonna, again, I don't care. Because when that time comes, it comes. And if that time isn't now, then it's not now. And that's okay. And divine timing is another thing. Divine timing is real. Divine timing is real. No one's gonna come on this platform and the first day have 1,000 people in their life. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not realistic. You have to start small. Same thing with going to the gym. No one's gonna go to the gym one day and have the dream body when they walk out. No, it takes time. It takes consistency. It takes getting used to. It takes practicing that skill so that you can get stronger in that area. I'm not perfect at what I do. I have moments where I stutter. I have moments where I get stuck. I have moments where I don't really know what I want to talk about. But me coming on this platform again and again and doing what I want to do, it gives me an opportunity to practice. It gives me an opportunity to learn, to evolve, and to get better at my craft. And that's literally a part of the journey in anything that you do, in anything that you do, you know? So you always have to have that mentality. Don't attach yourself to the outcomes. Don't attach yourself to what's in front of you. Just keep going. Keep going. Even if you're not seeing the results, you know, right there. This is my first time seeing you. I don't usually come on live on YouTube. I'm always live on my TikTok channel. Because that's where like my community is. But I just felt so called to like come on YouTube. I actually wanted to film a YouTube video, but I didn't know what to talk about, so I decided to come live. But I think people coming in and like hating on me, it kind of helped create like a topic and something to speak about. Because at first I was gonna talk about like something completely different, but then people started like saying negative things in the comments, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just talk about this, which I think is really good. I like that. I like that. I like when people like say their opinion or say whatever. Like it gets me going, and not because I'm trying to like prove a point or not because I'm arguing, but because like I just know the realization to everything. I'm very into psychology. I'm very into like spirituality, and I like just seeing how certain things trigger people, certain things affect people. And yeah, so I didn't mind it. Like when people started coming in, they were just like, oh, I forgot what they were saying, but they were like, professional yapper, you're so irrelevant. You're saying nothing. Yeah, like she's so annoying. And I was like, you know what? That's okay. So I'm happy. But usually on like my TikTok, everyone is super positive on there. Like everyone is super nice. I don't usually get hate. I don't ever get hate on TikTok actually, but clearly different platforms are different. So I just have to get used to it. But it doesn't hurt my feelings, honestly. Like I said, I have very thick skin, and I'm very understanding. I know a lot about like psychology and things like that, you know? Why would you take pleasure from triggering people? It's not that I get pleasure from triggering people, but I kind of just like seeing like I'm very interested in psychology. Like I love psychology, and I am very interested in seeing how certain people doing something could just make someone just feel so hateful, you know? So I guess I'm just interested in that. Like I love psychology. I love like seeing that. But again, I always try to just bring positive light into that, and I like teaching people really about themselves. So yeah. But yeah, I think it's important to like understand people because it helps you, like I said, to not take things so personally. How do I get your TikTok? My TikTok is the same as my live. Yeah, the human mind. I'm really into like the human mind and how it works and how you can like rewire. I talk a lot about like rewiring your subconscious mind and stuff like that. So, you know. And at the end of the day, like when you you need help, hey, it's okay. A lot of the times, like honestly, like people when they judge you or they hate on you, like I said, it's because they want a negative reaction. And when they get the satisfaction of a negative reaction, you're literally giving your power away to your power away. But when people throw hate at you and they try to like downgrade you and make you feel like shit, and you just see the positive in it and you keep growing and you just keep speaking life, it's like you're taking your power back, because these people are literally trying to bring you down, trying to hate on you, trying to make you feel bad about yourself, and you don't. And I think that that gives you more power, and I think it's important to have that power, and so if you feel like I need help because I want to like keep my power and I want to keep growing and building, you're entitled to your opinion at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, who am I to try to sit here and try to change your narrative? You know what I mean? Keep talking, keep putting yourself out there. People like me truly appreciate what you say. It helped me understand what type of people I have around me and how to keep myself happy. And I love that. I love that. I'm really happy that I was able to like help you. And like I said, people are gonna come in here, they're either gonna like me or they're not. So it is what it is. But it's crazy, honestly. Like, I do not get any hate on TikTok at all. But every platform is different. So you just gotta like be understanding to that. And always, always, always like honor yourself and like keep your power. Don't let anybody try to like come in here and take your power from you and try to bring you down and try to tell you negative things about yourself, because people will do that, and it just is what it is. Um you are so gorgeous, and sometimes I don't hear what you're saying, but keep talking. Am I like muting? Am I muting? Is that what it is?